If you own XRP, you should watch this movie all the way to the end. No, I'm not just trying to keep you guys around to play games. I am going to give you a huge amount of information that will make you believe in XRP even more than you already do. So with that out of the way, welcome back home, everyone. My name is Nick. If this video is your first time on the channel, I hope you decide to join by the end. And if you don't follow me on all of my social media accounts, you're missing out on a lot of other stuff too. What do you two have planned? In the text below, you can find links to follow me on all of my social media sites and to join the free Discord server. There are more than 6,000 more people in there. It has a lot of useful knowledge. There are a lot of great exit plans and other things like that. What do you two have planned? Join it. You'll be glad you did it. So let's get started. So putting crypto assets in the hands of institutions, it's taking place. This comes from KPMG. An important factor in determining how long many crypto assets will last is their ability to cut down on the problems and waste that currently plague the world economy. Lots of people say that volatility is one of the main problems with using crypto for any purpose. Even though volatility is a problem, it's important to remember that these assets are still pretty young and will become less unpredictable as they grow up. There are also big efforts going on across the business to make what are called stable coins to deal with the problem of volatility. Now, this is an older PDF file, but they were very focused on what was going to happen with tokenization and financial use cases in the area. The crypto world and the token market are shown here. This is what they have in mind for this. It's a pretty big breakdown. Most of the time, though, this isn't about how everything is going to work. It's more about how organizations are building trust in the area, plus letting crypto grow. And that's what they're thinking about as the next step for crypto to build trust and grow. In that case, we know that institutions have been more open to crypto this year than ever before. The institutional age of crypto brings new ideas that were posted in March. This is when big institutions start to get involved and tokenize, buying up and taking over some crypto-based businesses. Everything will keep going like this from now on. The DTCC is the most important purchase I want to talk about, right? Putting away $3 quadrillion every year. In other words, getting securency. It is crazy that these kinds of names are now flooding the market in big ways, putting a lot of money into the market as well. A lot of people are still not sure if this area will become an asset class worth $100 trillion. I can see that this area will become an asset class worth $100 trillion. I can see that this space will run the world. I've said it more than once about how we get there. You may remember that I wrote a post in January because I saw the institutional focus at the time. I still see it now. I said that I am sure we are moving away from the speculative market and toward a much more stable one. Let's quickly talk about it. Jake Clayton, who used to work for the SEC, said that there was too much wash trade and illegal use of Bitcoin for there to be an ETF. This is why the focus was more on the ETFs, and then we got one for real, which I found very interesting. However, I believe we should pay attention to the rules and standard setting part of things, which is already happening. Yes, in Singapore, the UAE, the UK, Hong Kong, Japan, Europe, and even the US, people are working for crypto regulations so that people can finally have a plan to follow. What I said now is also tokenization. It's now time for many of the big players like Aberdeen with Hedera and Franklin Templeton with Stellar to pick their winners. They're choosing the big names that I think will be around for at least 5 to 10 years. But I also began to notice that a lot of big businesses and institutions were entering the space. I thought it was very interesting that Citi put out a study about how to get to mass adoption, but also the coming together of blockchain and AI, which will make blockchain more widely used. AI is a big topic that will only get bigger, especially as companies start to use AI to automate tasks. Blockchain will become more and more important. In the end, ETFs are just the start of what's to come for crypto. This market is being seen by institutions for what it will really become. The place where amazing new ideas and wealth are born. For retailers, the most important thing was to get ready and get ready quickly, because it's not too late to be early yet. We can still get to the spot early. Just pick the right ones. But Monica Long, president of Ripple, told us that 2024 is quickly becoming the year when crypto is accepted by government on a large scale. She also said that TradFi companies are already putting out crypto access, tokenization, and other goods, and what they did during past bear markets, but now it's becoming clear in a big way through some of the biggest names in show business. Also now, David Schwartz is here. Will the next group of companies bring XRP's price back to life and speed it up? Look at this. In late 2011, I began working on what would become Ripple. The business was late 2012, so around that time, there was some initial animosity toward Ripple and its focus on institutions, which is something we've talked about before. And it looks like things have changed. We're talking a lot about rules and laws. It has to do with ETFs from Blackstone, BlackRock, and a bunch of other companies. How does it feel where you are? Do you think that people have grown to accept the Ripple view, or do you think it's still different for you after all the criticism you got at first? Yes, I believe that steady coins like USDC and Tether are the most important proof. They are about as formal as things can get. Still, they are what keep these totally decentralized markets going. Right now, I don't think you can say that institutional adoption won't lead to grassroots acceptance and vice versa. If we tried to get institutions to use blockchains for their payments too soon, I think they wouldn't have brought their users with them. If there's going to be mass acceptance, I think you have to accept that these things will go together. Just because there is proof that something is true doesn't mean that everything needs to be controlled. One thing I think people didn't know is that you can have a stable coin, a loan portfolio, or a tokenized asset that is fully regulated. Every customer goes through KYC and AML checks. On the other hand, there are fully decentralized tokens on the back end that represent ownership or collateral. We can see that now. And with that, David, thanks so much for being here. It's great. And I do want to bring up something. He did say they were just starting to accept the idea in schools. Back then they were ready, but institutions weren't. However, you are now saying that banks are ready to bring their clients there. They are ready to let their clients use blockchain. This is amazing for the whole business world. I also believe it will be, though. Amazing for the early adopters who were ready before the space was fully developed enough to accept organizations. Ripple was ahead of the rest. XRP and the XRPL are also very popular. This makes me believe that Ripple and XRP will be the two most important cryptocurrencies once institutions fully accept and regulate them, as well as in the whole field of business. David Schwartz now adds to this by talking about the plan behind Ripplenet and how useful XRP is. Financial institutions will be added to Ripple Payments, a payment method that can settle transactions with XRP. By building a strong system with on-ramps, off-ramps, and enough liquidity, these institutions will be able to use XRP to settle their payments without any problems. The value of this will go through the trillions because Ripple wants dozens of banks to join the XRP system. Look at this. The goal is to get businesses to use a payment method that works with XRP. After that, they can use XRP to settle their payments as long as the system has on and off ramps and liquidity is available. That's Ripplenet. If you want to use Ripple, you need to use Ripplenet, which is like business software for making payments to institutions. Then there's Riplex, which is the XRP system and all the DeFi stuff. That's all there is to it. In fact, if we look closely, everything here is geared toward a single main goal: institutions. Why would we even bother going after retail? No one ever thinks about what about the retail use cases? Hey, guys who work in retail, stores. Institutions are the key to making this work. The door is opened and all of their customers are shuffled through it into the blockchain. People will mostly use it if it's used by institutions and businesses, not stores, because stores don't matter. These players will help get a lot of people to use it. Their customers will come in with them. The back end of Ripple is also where all the talk is about XRP. Oh, XRP isn't used. They don't care about XRP. They're replacing it with a stable coin. They're replacing it with coin. They're replacing it with this. Ripple's business is based on XRP Ledger, its digital payment system. To use Ripple services, financial institutions need to connect their systems to the XRP Ledger. With this integration, they can easily make and receive payments using XRP, Ripple's own digital currency. The XRP system is still an important part of everything Ripple is trying to do here. And once we have the go-ahead and the rules, all of this uncertainty will end. The game will start for real. That's when a lot of institutions will start to use this technology. That's when the floodgates will really open, letting trillions of dollars and millions of users into this place without them even knowing it. A lot of people will have to accept it. This technology with these big players, these big organizations, putting those retail people on the chain without them knowing anything about the technology behind it. This is also Ripple's business plan canvas.